Good evening. My name is Maurice Kemp, Deputy Mayor of Miami-Dade County. And on behalf of the Mayor, Carlos Jimenez, and myself, I'd like to offer our sincere condolences to the victims of this tragedy and their families. Miami-Dade County and our partner agencies for the last 6 hours have been working feverishly in the search and rescue mode to ascertain how many victims there are and rescue as many as we can. We will continue in this mode until we are certain that there are no more viable victims, and at some point we will transition into an investigation and recovery mode, but we're not there yet. I'd like to thank the Governor, Governor Scott, and Senator Rubio for their presence, their support, and their offers of federal and state resources. The Mayor and I would like to offer our sincere gratitude to all of the agencies that have worked together on this situation. We have significant numbers of men, women, and equipment committed to this, and we will be here until the job is done. At this time, on behalf of the Mayor, I'd like to introduce and welcome Governor Scott.
The first thing is on behalf of everybody in our state, including my family, our heart goes out to anybody that's been impacted by this. Being a dad and a grandfather, you just hope this would never happen to anybody in your family or any family that you know, in my case, any family in this state. I just received a briefing from the Miami-Dade Fire and Rescue and also from local law enforcement. I've been in constant contact this afternoon with the Mayor, the President of FIU. I've spoken with Elaine Chao, Secretary of Department of Transportation, the Chairman of the NTSB, Betsy DeVos from the Department of Education, and I know everybody is working hard to make sure that we continue to rescue anyone that can be rescued. We're going to do everything we can to take care of the individuals. I've told everybody the state will provide whatever resources possible. I know the Florida Department of Transportation is going to help with the rescue and recovery efforts and also with local traffic control, but we will do everything we can to help this situation. The Florida Department of Transportation has put out information about this project. It was not an FDOT project, it's a FIU project. So there will clearly be an investigation to find out exactly what happened and why this happened. And we will hold anybody accountable if anybody's done anything wrong. But the most important thing we can do right now is pray for the individuals that ended up in the hospital for their full recovery. Pray for the family members that have lost loved ones. But I know we're going to all want to do our best to try to find out exactly what happened here, and we will do that in a transparent manner. And again, if anybody's done anything wrong, we'll hold them accountable. I want to thank Senator Rubio for being here, and I'll never turn it over to Senator Rubio.
Thank you, Governor. And for everybody standing here, this is again another troubling and tragic incident for me personally. FIU is home. I've been an adjunct professor here for 10 years. I know the tremendous amount of pride and excitement that exists about this project. Ironically, it's a project designed for safety. We lost a student last year crossing that road behind us. And it's also going to be a signature project, one that people would identify with the school and with this community. And one of a kind in terms of its engineering design. I believe it was just Saturday where it was unveiled to tremendous amount of excitement and pride. It was one of those things people would always see and remember the school about. So to see it on the ground there today, and underneath it the lives of those who've lost their lives as a result of this and those who have been injured, is just so tragic. We recognize that even as we speak to you now, there are families whose hearts are being broken by either the news or the thought that a loved one has perished in something like this. I can tell you at the federal level, and had an opportunity to speak to the Secretary of Transportation before being on the plane, that the federal agencies are already here. Both OSHA and the National Transportation Safety Board will be conducting an exhaustive review. And the one thing that we do owe the people of the country and the people of this community, because this is part of this project, is federal funding through what's called the Tiger Grant that was passed through for this project. Everyone took great pride in. We deserve to know, and the public deserves to know, and the families of those who have been hurt and who lost their lives deserve to know what went wrong. And that's the one thing everybody should rest assured of. These people that are going to be doing these engineering studies will tell us what went wrong. And that won't provide any comfort to the families who lost a loved one, but it will prevent something like this from ever happening again, because we learn from those things. There will be an exhaustive review that will give details at an engineering and scientific level as to what the errors were and what led to this catastrophic collapse. Of that, you can rest assured. That work has already begun. I'd be remiss if I didn't say, and I know this has deeply affected the president of this institution. Mark Rosenberg happened to be in Washington when this happened. We were on the same plane coming down. We rode over from the airport. I know this has been difficult on him and on everybody here at FIU and the first responders. They're one of a kind, with their gear on, trying to get in there till the last second, trying to figure out if there's anybody who they can save, and risking their own safety in the process. So we thank them for the work they are doing and will be doing in the days and hours to come. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Dave Downey, the Fire Chief with Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. And Fire Rescue continues to operate in search and rescue mode since we got the call before 2 p.m. today. We have our personnel on the scene. We're utilizing all the tools and equipment, same personnel that you've seen travel the world for various types of building collapses and search and rescue are the same men and women that are working out there and that have been working since this incident occurred. We're using all of our equipment. We're using our search canines. And we're going to continue to search this pile until we're sure that there's no other survivors. We were able to remove 9 victims early on. They've all been transported to local area hospitals. And once we've completed our search and rescue operations, we'll remain on scene and help with the recovery efforts as well. This has been an incredibly tragic event, and our hearts go out to the families of the victims and everybody that was involved, and rest assured that the fire department is going to be here through the end. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Major Chris Della Pietro, the Fort Abbott Patrol Troop Commander for our Miami office. Shortly after 1:30 this afternoon, the Fort Abbott Patrol was dispatched to the location of Southwest 8th Street, 109th Avenue, where we encountered a bridge collapse. We responded along with fellow first responders from Miami-Dade Police and Fire. We encountered several vehicles that were crushed as a result of this incident. We quickly shifted into a search and rescue mode with Miami-Dade Fire and Police, and that process continues now as we speak. We have no further information to provide at this point on our investigation. However, we are asking the media to make it very prominent to our viewers and those in the community that this roadway is going to be shut down for an extended period of time. This is going to be a long and arduous investigation, and we'd urge motorists to avoid traveling in the area of Southwest 8th Street. It will be closed between 107th Avenue to the east and 117th Avenue to the west until further notice. In addition to that, the Florida Turnpike exit ramp to Southwest 8th Street eastbound will also be closed. We appreciate everyone's support and assistance with those closures. Thank you.
Good evening once again, and again, Juan Perez, Miami-Dade Police Department. Once again, our thoughts and prayers for the families and the many victims that were impacted today by this tragic accident. As this continues to progress throughout the evening, once this transitions over to the Miami-Dade Police Department to lead the efforts in the homicide investigation, we are prepared to do that. Right now, we've already, we established a unified command center. We have all partners there, and I want to thank all of our partners from all the local agencies that are assisting not only fire but police. Our federal partners are here as well to help with this investigation. And once we get to that point, we hope to be able to expedite as much as possible, but realize that this is going to be a long process. Because to get through that rubble and the pieces of concrete that are laying there is not going to be an easy task. So we will be depending on our fire department to help us get through that process so that we could recover whatever deceased individuals may be under that bridge. And obviously, because our homicide is leading the efforts, we all know that that is the, what it's leaning toward. You know, at that point, we will continue to advise you as we get information as to the number of victims that are underneath that rubble. Obviously, if there's anybody that's alive that can be rescued, that you'll be the first to know. I once again, please, I implore you, do not put out any information that is not coming from us in the fire department, the police department, or any of us that are involved in these efforts. Any of that information that is leaked out, that is put out, may affect negatively the families of the people. And the last thing we want to do is impact them even more. We have our victim advocates that are here at this school right now in the Unification Center, some that are heading over to the hospital to meet the needs of the families so that we could do this the right way and inform them the right way. So allow us that opportunity. You know, we are completely transparent, and we will continue to be transparent with you. So give us that opportunity. Again, you know, our prayers go out to all those impacted. At the end of this, you know, the saddest thing for us in public safety is that despite our efforts, despite the efforts of our fire department, and not only those that are here now, but the rescuers who came before public safety, the many citizens and residents that came to the aid that perhaps saved many lives. Despite their efforts, we know that there's going to be a negative outcome at the end of the day. You heard earlier the story of one of our off-duty officers that provided CPR from his mouth. You know, he said he did nothing but treat that individual like if it was a family member. And you'll hear more and more stories as this develops. And despite those efforts, we're probably going to come out with a sad outcome for many in our communities. So, you know, once again, thank you for covering us. Thank you for being here. And please, I ask that you please cooperate with us and not release information unless it's coming from us so that we know that the victims' families have been already notified. Thank you.
I'm Mark Rosenberg. I'm president of FIU. On behalf of the entire FIU community, I want to express our condolences to all those family members, sons and daughters, loved ones involved. Our prayers, our thoughts are with you. I want you all to know that this bridge, 5 days ago we were celebrating that it was in the process of being erected. This bridge was about collaboration, it was about hope, it was about opportunity, it was about determination. The bridge was about strength and unity, about being good neighbors with the city of Sweetwater. This bridge was about goodness, not sadness. Now we're feeling immense sadness, uncontrollable sadness. And our hearts go out to all those affected, their friends and their families. We're committed to assist in all efforts necessary. And our hope is that this sadness can galvanize the entire community to stay the course, a course of goodness, of hope, of opportunity. I want to thank the first responders for heroically stepping right in. I want to thank all of those who have attempted to be here this evening to help people in this very, very sad situation. I now ask the mayor of Sweetwater, Orlando Lopez, to speak.
Good evening, everyone. As President Rosenberg was saying, just last Saturday, we were actually celebrating the erection and the movement of the bridge over Southwest 8th Street, which was the focal point of the beginning of a true transformation where this bridge was going to provide a safe transportation for pedestrians to cross between the university and the city of Sweetwater. As the President was saying, this is all about safety. And today we are here speaking to you all about a very tragic event with the collapse of the bridge. At 1:48 p.m., a local resident and business owner called me and told me the bridge just collapsed. My heart stopped. I can hear the crackle in his voice as he's explained to me that the bridge has collapsed and there's vehicles trapped under it. I couldn't believe that this very bridge that was being built and erected to provide safe transfer between the students in FIU to the city of Sweetwater had actually collapsed and vehicles were trapped under it. It is a very tragic day. My heart and condolences and sadness goes out to the victims and the victims' families. But at the same time, we have to recognize our first responders. Right behind, we have 3 police officers with us that were at the scene within 30 seconds, providing chest compressions, CPR, and maintaining victims alive and brought back to life to allow fire rescue to get here and transport them. One of the comments that I've been trying to tell everybody and keep it, if all possible, stay out of the area. The area right now is for law enforcement officers to protect the area as well as first responders to continue with the search and rescue for any of the victims or possible victims still trapped under the rubble. Thank you all.
We can now take the limited questions in English. Just try to keep them in an orderly fashion so that way we can address who you can ask the question. Governor Scott, who's responsible for overseeing the safety of this project? Is it the school, the state, the city?
Well, it's an FIU project, and it's an FIU. It's not an FDOT project. It's an FIU project. But what's going to happen is there will be a thorough investigation, and we will understand exactly what happened. It'll be a very transparent investigation, both at the local, federal, and state level. And if somebody's done anything wrong, they'll be held accountable.
Dr. Rosenberg, could this be determined as will be investigated for possible criminal negligence as well?
I'm sorry, would you repeat?
Criminal negligence result?
Well, I mean, there are all kinds of possibilities. I don't think we can discard any of those possibilities. We're going to have a full investigation. Obviously, this is a tragedy. It shouldn't have happened. The university the university initiated this project, and the university started this project in 2010 and worked for years in collaboration with the state, with the federal government, with the city of Sweetwater, and we followed all processes: competitive bidding, 2-phase process, independent engineering company that is fully certified by the state, that was recommended to us by FDOT. And so we are extremely saddened by this, and will do all that we can to find out how it happened and to make sure something like this never happens again.
Was the university aware of complaints about one of the construction companies involved, a lawsuit citing safety concerns filed just earlier this month? Was anyone aware of any of these complaints?
There's a process of due diligence that takes place. All of the contractors are fully certified by the state, and this has been one of the most intensely managed processes that is around because of the federal support for it. So we will, I'm sure that there will be more that we will be finding out in the next couple of days.
Dr. Rosenberg, the mayor of Miami-Dade County today said that there was tests underway at the bridge before the collapse. What do you know about that? What has Medea Construction told you today about what was happening on the bridge before the collapse?
I have not spoken directly with Medea Construction, but I'm satisfied that the testing that was occurring was consistent with best practice.
What was the testing that was occurring?
Whatever the testing that was required. I'm not an engineer, so I'm not privy to those details.
You are aware the testing was occurring?
I know that tests occurred today, and I believe that they did not prove to lead anyone to the conclusion that we would have this kind of a result. But I don't know that as a fact.
Has anyone in law enforcement heard from people complaining of a loud crack this morning?
Okay, let's do one at a time. What was your question?
How many first responders collectively, local, state, federal?
So, you get the fire chief. You get the fire chief. Yeah.
We had, you asked how many rescuers were here? We had a little over 100 rescuers here at the onset.
What are some of the biggest obstacles you're going through right now?
The stability of the structure. You know, it. I'm sorry? We have located victims, but we're unable to identify them or have any confirmation. I'm not aware of that.
How many people were above construction workers working on the bridge? We talked about the cars below. Do you have an estimate how many people were working on top of that bridge when it collapsed out?
I know they were working on top. We're not sure what the total number was. I'm sorry? We have located up to 4 victims. 4 deceased. Wait, I'm sorry. I had a question over here. That's what we're hoping for. Yes.
How's nightfall play into this now in the search and rescue?
We work around the clock. That's. We transported 9. Yes.
So you need to move more concrete to keep searching, and you're still using canines?
We're using all of our search and rescue equipment. We use the canines. We use Delsar listening devices. We use search cameras. We call it hailing. We're calling out. So we use everything available to us. But yes, we have to remove some of this piece by piece. It's very unstable.
Last question.
Have you thought about whether you want to complete the bridge or abandon the project?
It's premature. Our priority now is with the families and the victims, and we're not having any thoughts about what's next except to provide the comfort to those families, the victims, and anyone affected by this tragedy.
Okay, we're going to go into Spanish now.
Mi corazón está con todas las personas impactadas por esta tragedia. Como gobernador es muy importante para mí que todos en la Florida estén seguros.
Obviamente en esta comunidad, esta institución de FIU es un tesoro. Todos tenemos personas, seres queridos, familiares o nosotros mismos que hemos estado en esta entidad. Y sabemos también que este puente iba a ser un símbolo de esperanza. Era un proyecto bien especial. Este mismo sábado lo inauguraron y desafortunadamente hoy hubo una tragedia terrible. Yo sé que ha impactado muchísimo al presidente y a esta institución, donde incluso aquí mismo, en este edificio de aquí, salieron enfermeras y estudiantes que están estudiando medicina, que cruzaron esa calle a tratar de atender a las víctimas de este terrible accidente. Le puedo decir que del gobierno federal, los recursos del gobierno federal, porque hubo dineros federales que son parte de este proyecto, hay 2 diferentes agencias federales que ya están aquí presentes y van a estar conduciendo una investigación completa, parecida a lo que uno ve después de un accidente de un avión, y vamos a saber esos resultados. El público va a saber qué fue lo que ocurrió aquí y por qué ocurrió y cuál fue la causa de este accidente. Y simplemente le pido esta noche a todos los que están escuchando que recen por esas familias que han sido impactados por esto, a esos que están en el hospital y a esos que todavía posiblemente no han recibido la noticia que alguien en su familia ha perdido su vida en este accidente tan terrible.
Buenas noches, soy la portavoz del Departamento de Bomberos, Erika Benítez. Quiero empezar diciendo que lamentamos profundamente lo que sucedió hoy aquí. Obviamente sentimos mucho por las víctimas y las personas que son afectadas por este incidente. Queremos empezar por recalcar que la prioridad en este momento es continuar nuestras labores de búsqueda y rescate. Por esa razón es que estamos aquí. Estos mismos equipos que están trabajando hoy aquí son los equipos que han trabajado alrededor del mundo haciendo esta misma clase de búsqueda y rescate. Y hoy están trabajando aquí en nuestra comunidad. Es muy importante que las personas se mantengan informadas, obviamente, por los medios de comunicación, pero sí no queremos que diseminen información errónea. Entonces, lo que podemos confirmar en este momento es que varios equipos del Departamento de Bomberos de Miami-Dade continúan trabajando arduamente. Obviamente, lo que queremos es encontrar sobrevivientes. Sí tenemos víctimas, pero lo que queremos es continuar buscando sobrevivientes. Entonces, estas labores de estos rescatistas, queremos resaltar, estas personas han practicado bastante y están especializados en esta clase de labores de rescate. Gracias.
Joe Sánchez, vocero del Departamento de Carretera del Estado de la Florida. En el nombre de nuestro departamento, nuestros corazones y nuestras oraciones están con las víctimas y la familia. Tenemos una tarea muy difícil, pero estamos trabajando unidos y incansablemente para investigar este caso, porque necesitamos la cooperación de nuestra comunidad. Por favor, se le pide a todas las personas que estén conduciendo que, por favor, si no tienen que estar en esta área, que se mantengan su distancia. En estos momentos, el Florida Turnpike hacia el este está cerrado y va a mantenerse cerrado por largo tiempo. Tenemos la calle 8 desde la 107 Avenida hasta la 117 Avenida cerrada, basada en esta investigación. Seguiremos trabajando incansablemente para investigar este caso y en nuestro nombre de todos los que trabajamos aquí le damos las gracias a todos los que estamos trabajando duro. Muchísimas gracias.
Buenas noches, Juan Pérez, del Departamento de Policía del Condado de Miami-Dade, de parte del alcalde Carlos Jiménez, que está fuera del país, del vicealcalde que está aquí también, Maurice Kemp, y todos los comisionados que están aquí, y el Departamento de Policía de nosotros. Todos los sentimientos de nosotros, las oraciones están para las víctimas, las familias y los amigos de todo eso que sabemos que vamos a perder esta noche. Estamos aquí trabajando lado a lado con los compañeros de nosotros, no solamente de las policías, de las agencias de ley, pero también con los bomberos. Estamos esperando que ellos terminen a rescatar, que terminen los esfuerzos para rescatar a los individuos que están debajo de ese puente, para trabajar entonces nosotros empezar a investigar, a lograr saber qué fue lo que pasó. Ya el jefe de los bomberos ya pudo anunciar ya que han confirmado que hay muertos debajo de ese puente, pero lo que no hemos confirmado todavía es la identificación de las personas que están allá abajo atrapados debajo de ese puente. Le pedimos todavía, le seguimos pidiendo a ustedes que por favor no den información si no salga de nosotros, de los voceros de nosotros, sino los nombres de víctimas, si se enteran, por favor no lo pongan afuera todavía, esperen para nosotros confirmar, para que nosotros seamos los que damos la noticia esa. Tenemos aquí un área aquí que tenemos familias, tenemos agentes de nosotros con las familias que están en los hospitales y estamos trabajando para mantenerlos a ellos alerta a toda la información posible que tenemos nosotros en estos momentos. Es preferible que nosotros demos las noticias malas y no que la encuentren en un canal de noticias o en el radio o algo de esa manera. Por favor, cooperen con nosotros en esa manera. Gracias.
Bueno, de parte de nuestra comunidad universitaria, nosotros queremos expresar nuestras condolencias a todas las familias impactadas por esta tragedia hoy en día. Obviamente, ese puente, la idea principal fue conectar dos comunidades, es decir, estrechar lazos para así profundizar las relaciones entre nuestra comunidad y la comunidad de Sweetwater. Y así habíamos celebrado mucho el esfuerzo que se arrancaba la semana pasada con la primera etapa de la construcción de este puente. Lamentamos que, obviamente, hoy es otro cuento. Y por lo tanto, les aseguramos que el esfuerzo en nuestra universidad es velar por la seguridad de nuestros alumnos y de nuestra comunidad. Y por lo tanto, nosotros habíamos seguido todos los procedimientos estatales requeridos y desde hace 2010. Obviamente, lo que sufrimos hoy es realmente una derrota para las familias directamente y para nuestra comunidad en segundo lugar. Yo quiero expresar el agradecimiento de nosotros por los esfuerzos de los first responders, la policía y demás que llegaron para rescatar nuestra comunidad. Muchas gracias.
Buenas noches a todos. Estamos aquí un día muy lamentable en cual hace una semana solo, menos de una semana, estábamos celebrando lo que era el traslado del puente peatonal sobre la calle 8, que iba a ser el principio de los movimientos visibles en cual se vean el completo del puente. El puente peatonal fue hecho y construido con las ideas de poder tener un transcurso de personas, los peatonales, seguro y no tienen que cruzar sobre la calle 8. Y hoy, lamentable, estamos aquí en una tragedia en cual el puente se ha caído. Tenemos ya 9 personas confirmadas que han sido heridos y como estaba diciendo el Departamento de los Bomberos, que ya hay confirmado que hay 4 personas que han perdido su vida en este colapso del puente. Dentro de todo esto le tengo que dar las gracias al gobernador, al senador Rubio, que estuvo aquí inmediatamente ofreciendo sus labores y sus cooperaciones, pero sobre todo lo que hay que darle las gracias son a los policías, a los first responders, a los bomberos. Detrás de mí hay 4 policías míos de la agencia de Sweetwater que inmediatamente cuando hubo el colapso del puente no pensaron en sus vidas, no pensaron en su familia, pensaron que hay personas heridas que tienen que ser ayudadas inmediatamente. Hubo una víctima en cual uno de los oficiales estuvo haciendo compresiones de pecho por 15 minutos antes que llegó el rescate y lo trajeron de la muerte a la vida y fue trasladado hasta el hospital. Le estamos pidiendo a todas las personas todo lo posible que traten de mantenerse, como dijo el director Pérez, fuera de las áreas. Estas áreas deben estar exclusivamente para las agencias policíacas, manteniendo seguridad aquí, y los bomberos y las personas que están haciendo la búsqueda de las personas que todavía están atrapadas debajo de los vehículos. Muchas gracias a todos y lamentamos esto muy grande y les pido todo que solidaridad a las familias de las víctimas. Buenas noches.
Por este momento, nuestro esfuerzo se dirige a dar ayuda, socorro a los miembros de la familia, de las familias impactadas, por una mano, y por otra mano ayudar a los alumnos aquí, otros miembros de la comunidad que están sufriendo por esta tragedia. Este es nuestro enfoque principal hoy en día y va a ser nuestro enfoque principal mañana y pasado mañana y la semana entrante, por lo menos. No tenemos información al respecto.
Bueno, primero es típico que el Departamento de Transporte Federal, porque aquí hay fondos federales sustanciales que fueron parte de este proyecto, y también